crafters, welcome back to my channel, Margaret Knob Designs. Thank you so much for joining me today. And what I'd like to do is do a walkthrough of my newest mini album. And this one actually is a bit small for me. I've done a lot of large albums, and I have gotten to the point where I'd like to do a few more smaller albums and folios because I can do a little bit more decorating or spend a little bit more time doing the other items rather than all the construction that's going on an album. So this one I thought was just so appropriate for this size of an album because it is basically 5.5 by 6, and I used the paper for my design team project called By the Seaside. It is designed by Country Craft Creations. I love the colors in this collection, and I love the theme of the papers, and I'm going to share it with you. It's a very simple album, but it is, I think, really cute for anybody who has summer themed photos. The other thing to think about is that now is a great time to make sure you have any of those summer papers or like beach papers or whatever, so that you can save all your memories from the summer, because now you've got your pictures and you can put your pictures into your album. So here we go. This is my small album, and again, this album is, I think it's 5.5 high. Let me just make sure. Oops. Helps if the measuring, no, it's 6 inches high and it is 5.5 wide. So it's 5.5 wide, and my spine is, I believe it's 1 3/4 is my spine, of course, by 6. So again, like I said, I wanted to make a mini album that was very simple but still had some impact to it, and I thought this was so sweet with the little girl with her seashell stand and selling her seashells on the beach. So, and this saying, she sells seashells by the seashore. There you go. Say that fast. So here we go. Let's open up into our small album. So as you can see, it's small in the sense that the pages are small. I also took the pages and I did not make them to have any kind of photo mat inside. They are just a single page. So if I took a piece of black cardstock, I just did a hinge on it, and I put my pages in like that with a hinge, a 1/2 inch hinge. And I used 4 pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the front and back covers. And I also did some things a little bit different this time too, where I took the cut aparts and I put some of the pattern paper down, pattern paper here, and then there's some here. I kind of layered that up a bit. And then I also took one of the the ephemera pieces, and there's a tuck right there if I want to put something in there. Otherwise, both of these little cut aparts can go right into this pocket. And then on this side of I should probably tell you, the page size was 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. 4 3/4 by, no, I'm sorry. I cut them at 5.5 by 5 3/4, but the 5.5, so it's really 5 by 5 3/4, because a 1/2 inch is for this part where you're attaching it to the album. And because these pages are not very heavy at all, we're perfectly fine gluing them down flat to that part of the spine. So on this first page, I took and did a flap here, used my paper punch on here. I covered it with patterned paper, and I could put a photo mat in there if I wanted to, but I also made a tag. They're just plain black on the back, and I made a small pocket here. Since I had a magnet in here, I also didn't want to put too much weight in the cardstock on this. I wanted it, again, to be very thin and simple. And then on this page, what I ended up doing was I rolled back some of my paper so it's kind of like a wave from the beach, and I made a tag to go into this paper. And over here I took some of my cutoffs and I made a pocket for over here, and there's also a tag with a stopper on the bottom in case you wanted to just put a picture on there or another piece of ephemera or something. And I can add other tags. I just wanted to start with the basic tags. And then when you go turn to this page, we've got our cut aparts here with the black on the back, and there's two pockets, tuck pockets right here. And I wanted them to just mirror each other. And I have that border strip here with some of my cutoffs of my pattern paper. And then these cut aparts are matted with the black Artisan Cardstock. And then on this page, I did something a little bit different. It may look a little busy, but these are the smaller, I think they're 2x3 cut aparts. They're 2 1/4 by 3, I think, by 3 3/4. So they're just flat down onto the page. They're really just for design that I matted here with some of the plaid paper. And then I took my hexagon punch, and I have like 3 or 4 sizes of them, and I put the white down with the black in the background. And this is where I can just punch out a picture and I can put it down onto there. I'm not going to probably make it smaller, but I thought that it looked better just setting this out with the black cardstock on there. And then I wanted to do a little bit more of a flip and flap onto this page. So what I ended up doing was putting 2 flaps here, and they're held down by a magnet. I cut a couple of my own tags, and I back them on some black cardstock to make them sturdy enough. And this is just made with the pattern paper. And I thought this was kind of cute because I can do one of 2 things. If I wanted to add some other ephemera on here or some of the cut aparts, I could do that, possibly like the seashells or things like that. I can do that, and maybe a picture up here, or I can do some kind of picture on the back as well. And then this is open for photo matting on this page as well. And when I put this mini album together, I just wanted to show you the pages. This is the 1/2 inch of the page, the hinge. I'm sorry, this losing the words. My hinge is here. The hinge for here is on that side, and then the next hinge is right here. It's abutted up to the back of every hinge. And then on this side, I took this page's hinge and I put it through a different way, because in putting this hinge backwards, I put it closer to the back than it would have been if I had put my hinge in the other way. So on the back here, I put a couple photo mats in here. I also left this open so that you can tuck the picture underneath there. And then onto the back of the album, I took one of the pattern papers and just took part of the pattern that was there. And again, other things can be added to the back of this. This is a very, very, very simple mini album, and in fact, it's an album that I made ahead of time, and I had the black Artisan Cardstock. This is made with lightweight chipboard. It's not made with heavyweight chipboard, because once you use the Artisan Cardstock on the lightweight chipboard, it really gives you much more body and base to your albums. So I am actually going to be giving this to a friend of mine for her to put her, pictures in for her daughter, and I can't wait to see what she looks like in that. But if you have any questions about the construction of this album, please put your messages down below. Otherwise, I will attach an instructional video into the description below about how to make the structure of the album. And again, these are just putting flaps on with a 1/2 inch hinge into here and just adding a flap or 2. And I know this is a little bit unconventional, but I wanted to try something a little bit new, make it look a little bit more like a wave or rolling. So, and then there's spots here where you could put pictures on here as well. But I just think this is just really a precious little book. It's a precious collection, and I think they'll have really fun putting their summer pictures into there. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate when you spend time with me. Leave comments in the section below if you have anything that you want to ask questions about, or anything you need to know. Otherwise, thanks so much and have a crafty day.